you very much. This is a very, very beautiful occasion when family members can come together and celebrate. And as Sonia was there last year, we want to make sure that this is not the only time that we come together to celebrate. So we want to make sure that we remember the message from last year when Sonia spoke and she said that we need to come together more often. Accept this thing. Yeah, all right. I want to take our message for tonight from a verse in the Bible. Matthew 5:1-10. And for many of you, this is very, very familiar. One of the most famous stories, one of the most famous sermons in the Bible. It says, and when Jesus saw the crowd, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. And blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Now, for the last 16 years, I've been teaching in public schools. And many of those years I've spent teaching history. And so I'm compelled to give a little history behind this right here. When King James ordered the translation of the Bible back in 1603, it was in style back in those days to talk like Shakespeare. They call it Shakespearean English. Y'all with me? Yeah. They call it Shakespearean English, okay? And so that's why when you read the King James Version, they say, "Thou hast and blessed, and verily, verily, I say unto thee," and all that. The people who spoke back then, they spoke Hebrew and Aramaic. They didn't say verily unto thee and thou hast and all that. Okay? That was Shakespearean English. Now, so the message that I'm going to take tonight is going to come from a different dialect. It's going to come from the Ebunicarian dialect of Ebonics. Alright? So the title for tonight is, when it comes to this family, what be your attitude? Let me say that again. I don't think somebody heard what I said. I said, when it comes to this family, what be your attitude? Alright? And one more thing, I want to kind of do it out of order a little bit because I want to handle the humility last, okay? Because that's one of the most important ingredients, so I'm going to handle that one last. But we're going to start off with, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Now, when it comes to any family, we need peacemakers because we got plenty of people that cause conflict. So there's always going to be some conflict. There's always going to be some strife. There's always going to be some things that you got to handle. But we need people that are able to bring peace to any situation. We need people that are able to promote harmony. We need people that are able to promote reconciliation, to reconcile any problems that we may have. But y'all know how it is though. Some people are like the Bush administration. They always come trying to cause a war. And then when they can't cause a war, they fake a war. They tell you that there's weapons of mass destruction out there. But we got some people that when they can't find some trouble to cause, they cause weapons of mass distraction. They throw some stuff out there to distract everybody so we can start some conflict. We need to make sure that we have our peacemakers in our family. Those that are able to make peace, those who are able to identify those who are trying to make war and make some peace. Now with me? What be your attitude when it comes to this family? The next one. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall be called, for they shall see God. Now, when the Bible talks about the heart, they're talking about your decisions that you make. They're talking about your intentions. They're talking about your inside. So what is your inside? Is it pure? We need some people in our family that make sure they're pure. We need people that are unselfish. They don't do things for their own sake. They do things for the sake of the family. Y'all with me? Yeah. So, but y'all know how it is though. Sometimes you got people, they're not really pure. They the type that if they see somebody is struggling to breathe, And before they give them CPR, they're gonna try to find out, okay, I'm gonna give you some of my air. I need you to know we ain't gonna pay me my air back. All right? They don't do anything unless they're gonna get something in return. All right? One more thing. A Bible in the hand does not make you pure. Let me say that again, because I don't think somebody heard what I just said. A Bible in the hand don't make you pure, because we got some people that beat you over the head with that Bible. You know, the fact that walking around with a Bible in one hand and some money they done stole in the other hand. People that walk around with a Bible in one hand and somebody's heart in the other hand. They walk around with a Bible in one hand and somebody's soul in the other hand. It takes more than a Bible to be pure. That would be. I want you to look at your neighbor right now and say, he ain't talking about you. No, you know what? Second dog, look at your neighbor again and say, I hope so. When it comes to this family, what be your attitude? When it comes to this family, what be your attitude? We make sure your attitude is pure. Next one. Blessed are the merciful, for they should be shown mercy. Now, I don't know how many people in my age, but when we was young, we played this game. And you grab hands with somebody, and you try to bend their fingers over. And the person who get their fingers bent over first, they yell mercy, then you let them go, right? Now we got some people out there that when the person yells mercy, they keep on going. They want you to yell mercy like 10 times, right? But you know what? You go out there and do your push-ups, you go out there and do your hand exercises, and you get that person, and you lean back with it, and you bend on fingers backwards, and they say mercy, and what you gonna do? You're gonna keep on going just like they did. We need some people in the family that know how to stop. We need some people in the family that know how to provide mercy for those people who are in need. Because mercy allows you to be able to identify your own shortcomings. Because you know that your shortcomings are going to be identified later on. So when somebody's other shortcomings are identified, you have some people that's quick to jump on them, like a lion. All right? But you know what? The lion is very tired. The lion is very tired after they do that hunt. And so the lion is vulnerable after they do that hunt because they're tired. They got to rest. They go out there and kill that deer and they got to rest. Then come the hyenas. The hyenas always steal the prey from the lion because they have to rest after they kill. So be careful when you're ready to jump on somebody because they have some shortcomings. Make sure that you are merciful for those who need some help. What be your attitude when it comes to this family? Make sure you're merciful. Blessed are those who mourn. See, mourning is a period of prayer. You're praying for strength, right? When you mourn, you're praying for strength. You want to be able to handle whatever the hardship is going on. Yeah. But you got some people out there, they don't let you mourn. If he didn't do what he was doing, he wouldn't have got killed. If she went out there acting a fool, she wouldn't have died. We got to make sure that we allow people to mourn. We got to make sure that we allow people to go through that spirit of prayer so they can deal with whatever hardships that's going on. This family needs people to help us to mourn. We need people to get over some of the hardship that we're going through. We need people to support people as opposed to trying to tear them down. Yeah. What be your attitude when it comes to this family? Make sure that you are ready to mourn when it's time to mourn, for you shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Now, meek is a spirit of gentleness, right? It's a spirit of gentleness, a spirit of support. Yeah. But some people take that to be a spirit of weakness. Right. Some people take that as a spirit of somebody who you can get over on, right? Yeah. One of the most gentle persons is the one we call Jesus, right? Yeah. Y'all remember in what verse is that? Matthew 21, 12 to 13. Y'all know what happened in that? When Jesus went into the temple and they was in there selling, they had the little flea market going on in the temple. Yeah. What Jesus did? He flipped over some tables, right? Yeah. Sometimes you gotta flip over some tables. Right. Sometimes the meek, the gentle, need to go ahead and flip over some tables. The meek need to be able to cuss somebody out without using cuss words, right? Yeah. They need to be able to slap somebody's face without making contact. They need to be able to make sure that they are able to solve problems but still remain gentle. Yeah. What be your attitude when it comes to this family? Are you meek? Are you able to be gentle when it's time to be gentle, despite what's going on? Yeah. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Now, right now, righteousness is being compared to the thing that we need to survive in life. It's being compared to the sustenance that we need to survive. So when I think about this, I'm thinking about a restaurant. And you pull up to that restaurant, and the people, some people out here, they ask the restaurant, what you got? And the people say, we got some righteousness. They say, oh, I don't eat that. Keep on going. I'm going to get some pork rinds. We need to make sure that we are hungry and thirsting for righteousness. When it comes to hungry and thirsting for righteousness, some people are on a diet. We need to make sure that righteousness is something that we hunger and thirst for, something that we fight for, something that we always are ready to live for. I ain't gonna say die for. We need to be able to live for it. What be your attitude when it comes to this family? Are you hungering and thirsting for righteousness? Now, when you hunger and thirst for righteousness, you have to be willing to be persecuted for righteousness. Now, I need to talk to the young folks now. There's this rule in rap music. One of the young folks tell me what it is. What's that rule in rap music? Anybody gonna tell me? Know what? Say it. Know what? No snitching? Right, no snitching. They are willing, the rap music is encouraging our youth to be persecuted for wickedness. We need to be able to be persecuted for righteousness. My students, when I teach in my class, I tell my students, forget that no snitching stuff. I'm going to tell. You can bring that stuff in here. I'm letting them know who did it. I'm not going to prison for nobody. They say, oh, you're a scary nigga. I say, I'd rather be a scary nigga on the outside than a dumb nigga on the inside. I don't think that's what I said. I'd rather be a scary nigga on the outside than a dumb nigga on the inside. We need to be able to be persecuted for righteousness. Because I'm willing to be persecuted for righteousness. Because you can't satisfy everybody. Some people are scared. They don't want to be persecuted for righteousness. They're scared. They want to satisfy everybody. But that reminds me of a story. There's an old man and a boy and a donkey. They was on their way to a city. And when they first started, the old man got on the donkey and the boy pulled the donkey along. The people in that first city they went through said, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You got that little boy walking, and you got your legs behind on that donkey. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. So they thought about it. They said, okay, we're going to switch it up. The little boy got on the donkey, and the old man walked the donkey along. And so when they got to the next city, the people started to holler at the boy. So you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You got that old man walking, you got your young behind with those strong legs on that donkey, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. So they thought about it again. They said, okay, I got you. We both going to get on the donkey. But when they went to the next city, people started yelling at them again. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Both of y'all on that poor donkey, putting all that weight on that donkey. What are y'all doing? I said, okay, this is crazy. So then when they went to the next city, both of them got off the donkey and they walked the donkey along. But then people started making fun of them. Y'all stupid. Y'all got a strong donkey and y'all walking. So when they went to the next city, both of them tried to carry the donkey. And they was going over a bridge. And they dropped the donkey over the bridge and the donkey died. The moral of the story is, when you try to satisfy everybody, you're going to lose your ass. We got some people out here who lose their ass. You need to make sure you keep the hole to your ass. Don't try to satisfy everybody. Always be willing to be persecuted for righteousness because you can't satisfy everybody. Everybody's not going to like you. So you might as well be yourself so those who do like it, they like you. Yeah. We said, I said, somebody's not going to like you. Yeah. So you might as well be yourself so those who do like you, they like you. Yeah. Right. So you can't satisfy everybody. Be willing to be persecuted for righteousness' sake. Right. All right. Now, my favorite one. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Now, when we think about poor, we think about those who are able to relinquish their worldly goods. Those who are able to not focus on material things. They come before the family with humility. Yeah. They come before the family when they're humble, right? Yeah. Now, this is an important one. I want y'all to go through this trip with me now. Humility is the ingredient that allows you to acknowledge what you don't know. All right. Humility is the ingredient that allows you to acknowledge what you don't know so you can receive what you need to know. Now with me? Yeah. So if you're humble, you say, you know what, I don't know how to do that. Could you tell me how to do that? You are able to accept what you don't know and to receive what you need to know. Right? Now that reminds me of another story. The most humble person, one of the stories of a very humble person. John 13, 1 through 17. This is a story, many of you are familiar with it. When Jesus was in the chambers with his disciples, and he took off his outer garment. Remember that? He put a towel around himself. He tied the towel up, and he got on his knees, and he began to wash the feet of his disciples. Y'all with me? This is a man that 1 billion people in the world worship as their Lord and Savior. And he's on his knees, washing the feet of those who follow him. You can understand. This is a man that 1 billion people in the world worship as their Lord and Savior. He's on his knees, washing the feet of his disciples. Did y'all hear what I just said? 1 billion people in the world worship this man as their Lord and Savior, and he's on his knees, washing the feet, the crusty feet of his disciples, the ones that follow him, the ones that spend all his time following him around. One of those disciples was getting ready to do what to him? Betray him. He washed his feet too. Another one of the disciples going to deny that they know him before the chicken crowed 3 times. He washed his feet too. Billion people worship this man as their Lord and Savior. He's on his knees washing the feet. Now let me give you some background information because I want to make sure this right here marinates in your heads. This is now he took off his outer garment. All he had on was a tunic. In those days, those who wore tunics were servants. Those who wore tunics were slaves in that particular culture. And so he wanted to make sure that he gave the message that I'm going to bring myself before those who follow me as a servant. Then he put a towel around himself. People in those days, only wives, slaves, washed the feet of other people and servants. So he humbled himself to the lowest capacity to prove a point. See, now one of the disciples didn't know the point, did he? That was old Peter. Peter, the hard one, like he know everything. You know the type that they do too much. They think they know more than everybody. And Peter said, okay, you ain't gonna wash my feet. And then Jesus told him, if I don't wash your feet, you have no part of me. And so then Peter got to get real bad with him. Okay, you gonna wash my feet, wash my hands and my head too. So Jesus had to tell him, okay, your head and your feet, your head and your hands should be clean, right? So you're doing too much. You're trying to get some stuff clean that don't need to be clean. We got some people out there that do too much, don't they? They think they know every doggone thing. They do too much. You know the type that give information that nobody needs? The type that when every time you have a dinner or something, every time they be gathering, they're going to talk about something they know about. Even though that what they know about is not needed at the time. All right? They're going to tell you what you need to do, even though you're asking what you need to do. We need to be careful with them Peters. We need to be careful with them Peters. And later on, Peter tells Jesus, oh, I died for you. And Jesus tells him, you know what, you're going to betray that you even know me. You're going to deny that you even know me 3 times before the rooster crow. Look, young folks, you better watch out for the Peters in your crew. These are the ones that be talking about, hey, dog, let's go ahead and hit this lick. I died for you, dog. Let's go ahead and hit this lick. Now, for those of you who are not urbanly aware, hitting a lick means you're going to do it on the artery. And young folks wanted to talk about, oh, I died for you. I ain't going to snitch on you, I died for you. As soon as the defecation hit the fan, they're talking about, oh, if he did it, I tried to stop him, but he told me he's going to kill himself and he's going to kill me. Be careful of the Peters in your crew, young folks. Amen. Because they'll tell you, they'll die for you, but they'll be the first one to kill you. To kill your spirit, to kill your soul, to kill your trust. Be careful, young folks. But make sure that we don't have any Peters in this family. He goes on to say, just as I have done for you, I need you to do this for other people. I took off my outer garment. I wash your feet. Just as I have done for you, go out and do for other people. Now this right here reminds me of Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for the family lately? When have you washed the feet of your grandma? When have you washed the feet of your aunt? And I'm not literally talking about washing the feet. I'm talking about when have you served them? When have you got down on your knees to serve them? When have you you know what? Don't get up. Don't go around this line. I'm going to go and get your food for you. When have you cooked for them? And I'm not talking about you get the batter out of the box and mix it. I'm talking about from scratch. When have you put in some work for your family? is a man who got down on his knees to wash the feet of those who was about to betray him. And yet still, he was willing to wash his feet. How many feet have you washed today? This is a man who have healed the sick, who have healed lepers. Their skin has healed. And he's on his knees washing the feet of those who he knows were going to deny his name. What have you done for your family lately? This is a man who have walked his faith, allowed him to walk on water. And yet he's still on his knees washing the feet of those who serve him. What have you done for your family lately? This is a man who have done all kinds of miracles, brought sight to the blind. And he's on his knees washing the crusted feet of those who serve him. What have you done for your family lately? What be your attitude when it comes to this family? Thank you very much. Amen.
What I got out of it, man, is service.